All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel, guys. Today we have a Toronto Raptors video. We're going to talk about some surprising takeaways through the first 11 games of the Raptors season. They're sitting at 6-5. Things are looking pretty good. Pascal Siakam is coming back, or I should say he already is back. He's good to go for tomorrow's game against the Boston Celtics, which is great news. So things are looking good. I really want to dive into a lot about Scottie Barnes in this video, but we'll talk about some other key Raptors players who are having really, really solid seasons. Before we get into this video, guys, hit that like button, hit that sub button. We're still 80 subs away from 9,000, so if you could hit that like button, even drop a comment, push this algorithm out to new people, more and more people, that would mean a lot to me. But let's talk about Scottie Barnes, man. He is my rookie of the year. At the moment. I mean, Evan Mobley is making a good case. He just coming off a good 23-9 night. But as of right now, through 11 games, 10 games, whatever it is for other teams, Scottie Barnes is my rookie of the year. 16.6 points per game, 8.7 rebounds, 2.5 assists. He's shooting 52.4% from the field. He's doing all of this, while only taking like 12 threes. Or I think it's 10. I think he's just straight up 2 of 10 from downtown. 2 of 10 from downtown. He's taking 10 threes. He's also averaging 3 offensive rebounds per game, 1.2 steals, and zero point 0.7 blocks. So Scottie Barnes, man, the fact he's been able to do all of this without a three-point shot, it's so great. I mean, it's been so cool to see. That was a huge concern for a lot of people after the draft was, yeah, all right, Scottie Barnes, I think, let's put your trust in the Raptors. Outside teams would be like, yeah, all right, Scottie Barnes, his prototype, 6'9", 225, 227. Like, yeah, that is good long-term pickup, but it'll probably take him at least 3 years to blossom into part of the player you're looking for. Well, what happens? Summer League. He goes off in Summer League. I mean, he literally shows bursts in Summer League of greatness, of early greatness. Preseason. He's already showcasing his talent in preseason, and then just a couple of games into the season, you get that 23-10 game, 23-11 game against the Boston Celtics. And as far as I'm concerned, Scottie Barnes owns the Celtics. Like, he just straight up does. We'll see it tomorrow night. I bet he goes for 20-10 once again. That's my early prediction for him tomorrow night, 20-10 at least. He owns Boston. He's creating his own shots. He's getting shots for other players. Like, my favorite part about Scottie Barnes is, first off, he's always in a great spot. Like, he knows he isn't a three-point shooter, so it wouldn't make sense for him to stand outside of the three-point line for 24 seconds. Scottie Barnes puts himself in positions to get not only the offensive rebound, as you see it with the 3.2 offensive rebounds per game, but he also just, like, gets a rebound, either gets a good assist, puts right back up, gets a tip in. He can do it all. My favorite Scottie Barnes is, he's already, like, we're 11 games in. He's at the point where you just kick it out to him, does a little crossover, gets to the corner, gets to his spot, nice little mid-range shot, smooth as silk. And it's like, whoa. And he can guard pretty much anybody right now. I mean, he is literally a walking prototype of what you look for in a basketball player. As Kevin Durant said, how old is he? 19, 20? Sheesh. I mean, he's got quick hands. He's got quick feet. He can guard guards. He can guard wings. It's just dynamic. He's just perfect. He is absolutely perfect. And just I don't even know, what has he played? 9 games? He hasn't even played 10 games. It's unreal. So he's my number one. He's definitely my number one. Number 2, I'm going to go with Gary Trent Jr. A lot of Raptors fans saw this coming. It's not like he's averaging anything too crazy, but it's really been the defense that I'm talking about. Because offensively, he's averaging 15.2, which is right along with what he's been averaging for the last season, I should say. Last year, in total, in Portland and Toronto combined, he averaged 15.3 points. So I guess last year was kind of like an offensive breakout year. But this is where you're really starting to see him break out as a player. I mean, 2.7 steals per game. Are we serious? Are we serious? Now, in the bubble, in 2019, 2020, in the bubble, Gary Trent Jr., in my opinion, he showed a lot of promise as a defender. A lot of promise. Doing exactly what he's doing. Jumping in passing lanes, quick hand, quick feet, active hands, just pressing the defender. That's what you kind of saw in the bubble. Saw glimpses of it last year. I was still trying to preach all offseason. I was trying to preach Gary Trent Jr. He's a defender. This guy can defend. At the very least, he can hold his own. Maybe not a great off-ball defender, but on-ball, I would say he is definitely can hold his own. This season, what is he doing? 2.7 assists. 2.7 steals, I'm sorry. 2.7 assists, nothing to get out of bed about. What did he average last year? One steal per game. The year before that, 0.8 steals per game. 2.7. This man is getting his hands. It's from the get-go. Like, he is literally, his hands are everywhere from the get-go. And that's, in the starting lineup, man, this guy is special. He's only a couple years into the league. This guy is special. Lastly, we'll talk about Delano Banton, because Delano, statistically, nothing's going to get you jumping for joy. He's played 11 games. He's only averaging 12 minutes per game. It took him a while to get into that lineup. He's only averaging 5.3 points per game, 2.3 rebounds, 1.4 assists, 0.7 steals. But it's the same thing with Delano, where I think it was it Ken Birch who said he was kind of playing, like, at first. I think it was Ken Birch who said, at first, I didn't really know who he was, like what kind of player he was. And now it's like, oh my God, it's a Sean Livingston prototype. And with Delano, I'm shocked he's been just kind of thrown in like so easy. Like, that's what you saw in preseason. You're like, wow, this guy could actually help the Raptors this season. But I don't think a lot of Raptors fans were anticipating that to go so seamlessly. Like, this is literally actually working. I mean, he's shooting 62% from the field. He's shooting 38% from downtown. He's getting other guys involved. He's playing great defense. He's helped pushing the ball in transition because he's a point guard, and I guess he's not a point guard, but he plays like a point forward, really. I guess his technical position's a small forward, but they run him as a guard. Delano Banton, what was it, 56th pick in the draft? I mean, this is an absolute steal. He might end up making an all rookie team. You never know. So those are three low-key Raptor guys that I wasn't really, I guess I kind of was, but a lot of people outside of Raptors Nation wasn't really thinking like these three guys were going to have this direct of an impact this early on. So that's it for today, guys. If you enjoyed it, be sure to hit that like button, hit that sub button. It is greatly appreciated. I'll see you guys tomorrow.